It's a crime to lie to Congress. Do you wish to retract your statement of May 11th where you claimed that the NIH never funded gain-of-function research in Wuhan?
You are implying that what we did was responsible for the deaths of individuals. I totally resent that. And if anybody is lying here, Senator, it is you.
Do you think that Dr. Fauci intentionally lied under oath to Senator Paul when he vehemently denied NIH's funding of gain-of-function research?
I think there's no doubt that NIH was funding gain-of-function research.
Is it likely that American tax dollars funded the gain-of-function research that created this virus?
I think it did not only from NIH, but from the State Department, USAID, and from DOD.
So, in your expert opinion, was the Wuhan Institute conducting gain-of-function research on
Absolutely.
viruses? Thank you.
Dr. Redfield, did you agree, in your opinion, with Dr. Anderson's assessment at the time that this virus did look engineered?
It was very disconcerting to me. It looked like this virus was engineered.
In one sentence, can you provide a definition of gain-of-function research?
I think it's to take a pathogen and try to increase one of two things or both, to increase its transmissibility or its pathogenicity.
Has gain-of-function stopped a pandemic, in your opinion?
No, on the contrary, I think it probably caused the greatest pandemic our world has seen.
The numbers are flawed, the stats are flawed. We've been lied to about everything. Everything. But the truth's been destroyed. It's been destroyed by pseudoscience, lies, and crystal ball predictions is all I can come up with a lot of this stuff. And it's been amplified by a media who's dead set on gaslighting everybody in this country into believing that the only way we're going to get back to a new normal is with a shot or some kind of a tracking system. That's the only way we're going to get back to normal? Really? That's why, remember 14 days to flatten the curve? That's why we're 6 months into this. Remember that? 14 days to flatten the curve. This isn't going to end. It just keeps getting extended. At the same time, the real medical professionals and scientists that are desperately trying to tell people are getting censored and ignored. They're getting censored and ignored. As a former police officer, I got lied to every day. Every day. Two ways I could tell people were lying to me generally was inconsistencies in their statements and contradictions between what they said and what they actually did. By my experience, that makes Anthony Fauci, the architect of these lockdown measures, a serial liar. Serial liar. He's lied from everything from the severity of this disease to whether asymptomatic people could carry it, whether masks were effective or not, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So let's talk about some of his inconsistencies, specifically with masks. Remember, nobody in the United States should be wearing masks now, not here. There's no reason whatsoever to be wearing masks. They don't work. They're symbolic. Remember that? No reason to walk around with a mask. Might make people feel a little better, but it doesn't do anything. Okay? And often there are unintended consequences. Remember him saying that? Fast forward a little bit later, here's Anthony Fauci touting a mask. Everybody needs to be wearing a mask. Everybody needs to be wearing a mask. I wear a mask because it's symbolic. It's an example of what people should be doing. Another lie. Well, you want to see the contradiction between what Anthony Fauci, and I'll get to that here, the contradiction between what he actually believes and what he does. Here's a picture of it, right here. Okay, a lot of times, it's right here, people subconsciously lie. The things that they believe are true come out in their behaviors. And we learned that as police officers too. Right, David? Okay. But there was one crystal ball prediction that Anthony Fauci got right, and that was 3 days before Trump's inauguration speech, he predicted a surprise pandemic, didn't he? Go look. If you don't believe me, go look. Do it for yourself. Don't believe the media. Don't believe your Facebook friends. Go do the research yourself. You cannot afford to be intellectually lazy right now. Not with what's at stake. Okay. The mask. I told you about the mask. Then when he gets called into Congress about his contradictions and his lies on it, do you have any regrets lying to the public about masks? You know what his answer was? We did it because we were afraid that they were going to go out and buy them, and medical professionals wouldn't have them available. Well, then, so you lied to go out and basically you told people that masks were effective, and yet you lied to them about wearing them? Which is the lie? It's all lies. He's been lying from day one about everything. You cannot believe him. So my question to you is, what justification do you have taking policy recommendations from a serial liar? Or corrupt organizations like the WHO and the CDC? Go do the research about the WHO and the CDC and the things that they've been involved in the past. Remember H1N1 in 2009? That scare? Remember the swine flu pandemic of 76 where everybody was going to have to get vaccinated? Look at history, folks. Go back and take a look. Okay?
Yeah, and I'll relate those two to the condition of humanity and where we are right now and why our freedoms are being destroyed right in front of our eyes. I assert that the first two things that have been destroyed as a result of the attacks on the war on our freedoms here have been truth and morality. I talked to the city council at the very beginning about your inability to discern the truth from a lie. I used Anthony Fauci as an example. I said he was a serial liar then. And I think history will probably prove that he was probably one of the most prolific serial killers in the history of humanity as well. Yes. The lie is a lot easier. It's more comfortable for us to embrace. We tell ourselves the lies about the justification for accepting the money to begin with. Then we lie to ourselves about why we stayed silent as city council members when all this was occurring. We lie to ourselves. Okay, so the moral aspect of this, what we're asking here is, as a city council going forward, is that if you cannot tell the truth, if we cannot trust you to tell the truth, and the last time I was up here, I said this is more about trust and confidence. If we can't trust you to be transparent with us, tell the truth, but moreover, embrace moral law over man's law, if you can't do that, then we will find other people who can. We will find other people who can do that.